We are the Nerd Eternal Network.
Yeah, I think we're going. Alright, everybody, welcome back. We got a new player today. My brother Taylor, aka Tarky.
Howdy, howdy. I think we're going.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Is it doing the peak thing?
Not yet.
Alright, let's roll with this then.
Alrighty then.
Hold on.
Todd,
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Alright, I think we're good to go then. Alright.
So basically, our show is just a large 20, 30 minutes of working out technical problems.
At the moment. I'll probably hack all this off when...
Video, you can hack it off.
Yeah. When I put it up on YouTube, I'll probably hack all this
No,
off.
no, you and Taylor sound so much alike. I thought you were echoing again.
Al.
But you could use other podcasts.
You assume I pay attention to you. Of course
You
I
do. I know. You edited something I said to the front of a podcast. I know you know who I am.
Do I? Do I?
Alright. So you're attacking this Mott base outside of town. You have contacted the Mutant Defense Militia to get their aid, since you know this is the kind of target they'd go after on their own if they knew about it. As you're meeting up with them, the man in the handout here appears. Tells you he has been
Also, James.
tells you he's been sent by Foreshadow to help. Yes, Tyler.
Do you have the other units?
No, not yet.
Okay.
How many of them are there, Tyler?
Currently gray and black.
Okay. So you see this fella in this outfit. He's there, and there is another fella in a identical outfit, except that it is black instead of gray. Everybody other than Taylor, give me intelligence rolls.
I remember how to do this. This is mine. And mouse work. This one's Zach.
Alright. Myrmidon has no idea who these jokers are. Recluse and Launch, you have seen them on TV. Taylor, what would they have seen them on TV doing?
For the most part, for now, giving talks about public safety and seen assisting police handling some criminal activity. That's a little natural than normal.
Alright. Introduce yourself.
Hello. We are Unit and Night Shift of U.N.I.S.O.N. We've rallied to the call of the MDM. Heard there was a base of anti-mutant activity that needed quelling.
Excuse me. Pleasure to have you on board.
Currently, we have one unit in air. You can't see her right now, don't worry. She's just fine. Making sure there's no exits or entries of most of the major facilities. So, Jason, for the record, Skywatch is currently in the air about 300 yards above the house.
Okay.
Just watching, seeing entry and exit.
Gotcha. She is not seeing much in the way of activity right now. Or, let me take that back. What time of day are y'all planning to hit?
I think midnight is a good time to hit.
Alright, in that case, yes, you don't see a whole lot of activity. Or she doesn't see a whole lot of activity.
Alright. As unit continues, do you have a plan of attack prepared? Or is this more run and gun sort of situation?
Well, I figure this what. Figure that's where this will pre-game meetup, just to get out the area and see what would work best.
Alright. You all see Wraith now?
Yes, sir.
Alright. I wasn't sure if I had ever shown Tyler this picture, so I want to make sure he saw it. This is Wraith. She is the current leader of the team of the Mutant Defense Militia that is here. You have her. Siphon. And Grim Noir. And she tells you her assault plan was going to be pretty straightforward. You know, her and her team assaulting the house from one direction and probably having the these guys come in from the other side. Hitting them at night like this. There'll be a few guards that are already armed, but she figures most of them will be, most of them should be sleeping, so shouldn't have their equipment too close to them. She figures that's probably in the outbuildings.
Understood. With only 2 units, do you mind if night shift runs with your unit? I'm asking Wraith. Since we already have comms set up, having one of us on each squad will allow instant communication if there's a problem.
She's like, that's a good plan. Are y'all as goofy as you actually seem on TV? She wants to make sure you can actually handle yourself.
Well, the suits will do most of the handling for others. I myself, no, I'm just here as part of the job. The goofiness is more for the kids.
Okay, all right. She can roll with that. All right, if y'all bring up y'all's character sheets. That was supposed to be there. Where am I? It should when the sheet comes up, it should be on the bio and info tab. All of you should have a little token there.
Now, what'd you just do?
I like your background picture.
Open your character sheet.
Alright, my character sheet's open.
Alright. On the bio and info tab, you should have a token there.
Oh, shit. Where the hell's the bio info tab? Like, oh, okay. Alright, hold on. Yeah. The little meat, I saw it earlier.
If you grab that and pull it off and drop it on the map, it will put your token on the map, already assigned to your sheet and all that.
Coolest thing! It's so small. Well, I mean, we're zooming way the fuck out. Well, yeah, but...
Yeah, yeah, you are zoomed way, way out.
Yes. I dropped out.
I don't want to be up there.
My computer's running slow as shit for some reason.
Yeah, Windows may still be doing something in the background.
I went ahead and pulled mine and dropped them off to the right with
Okay.
cap 5 on.
Alright, I'm way off in the middle of the field. Some fucking work.
If you can click and drag your character to a place.
Which is hard as hell jumping. I'm not real sure I'm not on the board twice.
Yeah, you may be.
It looks like it's me there with the house, but yeah. Like I said, the computer's acting weird as shit. Cause I can't move. I can't even move the character for shit. I'm clicking on the icon. But when I try and pull a character,
Are you looking at...
moving
I see where the
whole-
two U's are. Are you looking at the U that's in the yard or the U that's by the pool?
the meat that's in the yard.
Alright, I'm going to delete the one in the pool then. Character represents Todd, so that means you should be able to move him around. Alright, when you click on him, do you get the 3 little circles above him and knock the gear icon under him?
Nope. Nope.
So it's doing
Hey,
nothing.
that goes back.
Any of the rest of you hear it?
I heard it. Yeah.
The note 3 times. Yes.
Because I'm not hearing it this go around.
Seems to be only him though, so I don't know.
Yeah, Todd, I'm moving your go here where everybody else is at the moment. Zoom in where everybody can be seen. And Taylor, I put a colored dot on one of your guys just to differentiate him.
Understood.
Let's see. One of you is going to be over there with them. Alright, so we got 2 4-man squads. How are y'all wanting to approach the house?
Zoom back out. Coming right up the driveway would probably just be suicide, so maybe one squad approaches from right around here and the other right here.
Okay. Wraith volunteers take her team to that one on the left. And then you guys can come in from up amongst these buildings here. Basically, follow that little road up, and you should see your guys between two of the buildings. Now, the way we're going to handle the assault is we're going to do a large pyramid test. Rather than go through and fight each individual. Because, you know, you fought these guys a few times. They're not that tough individually, but it would take a long time to slog through all of them. And the more interesting stuff happens afterwards.
Ooh.
Or at least at the tail end of. Alright, so how many of y'all remember how to do pyramid tests?
You basically just have to keep making successful rolls. What are we rolling again?
Alright, I will reread the rules. This is a pyramid test. It's a way of doing a large team effort. Alright, when heroes are confronted with a complex task, even with degrees of success or failure, the GM may call for a pyramid test. With a pyramid test, a single test can succeed, but multiple smaller tests also accumulate to accomplish the task. This allows for teamwork and the combination of different abilities and approaches to achieve success. Essentially, a pyramid test requires a single massive success. However, lesser outcomes can add up to build a pyramid of success, with two outcomes of the same degree adding up to one outcome of the next higher degree. Two major outcomes add up to a massive success, while two moderate outcomes add up to a major success, and so forth. The tests used to achieve the outcome can be whatever the players think up and the GM permits. If the pyramid test involves an investigation, for example, some of the tests might be intellect-based analysis of evidence, while others are awareness-based searches for clues, and still others are willpower-based interrogations or efforts at persuasion. They can involve attributes modified by specialties or powers. The test can be carried out by one hero in succession or several at once.
Is this
You still talking?
Oh, I just stopped for a second. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
I can.
Okay.
The last few words seem to trail off. A test could be solved by what?
Oh. The test can be carried out by one hero in succession or several at once.
Alright.
So it could be one guy making all the rolls to build the pyramid, or everybody could be making their rolls. Yeah, that's not what I need. Okay. We're going to do a balanced test. If a certain number of failures accumulate before the required successful outcomes, the pyramid test tips and is considered a failure. So basically, your failures will be adding up the same way that your successes do. And you'll need to hit a massive, you will need to hit the massive success before you hit a massive failure. So every round, or not really round, I will make the roll for the difficulty for that test. How much resistance they're putting up. Each of you will make a roll, and then based on the success or failures of that is how we will build the pyramids. Let me find my pen. I could not find a good sheet to use these pyramids on, or to put these pyramids on in game, so I just got to use a piece of scrap paper.
Is this the kind of test where having more people will be more useful?
Yeah, it might be.
Since this is just straight combat, I'm gonna go ahead and port in the rest of U.N.I.S.O.N.
All right.
So Skywatch is still in the air. Night Shift is still over there. So I've only got 3 more members of U.N.I.S.O.N to pop in.
Okay.
Alright, I'll be popping them in with me.
Describe to everybody what they look like.
Same costumes except for red, yellow, and green, I believe.
Wasn't there a periwinkle?
That's Skywatch in the air.
Oh, gotcha.
And, not visible right now.
Yeah, I've got the list in Discord somewhere. But...
I never thought I'd be working with the actual Power Rangers, but I'm probably okay with it.
Let's see. Unit's gray, Night Shift is black, Impulse is red, Skywatch is periwinkle, Overshield is purple, and Novice is yellow.
Ah, sorry. Instead of green, it's purple. My bad. Alright. The whole squad's here. As my character quietly says, over the comms, hey guys, don't do the poses this time. And they poured in.
Do they listen? Do they not do the poses?
They don't do the poses, but they look very sad that they're not doing the poses.
Those big motorcycle helmets are just hanging dejectedly as they pour in.
Yeah, they just kind of shrug shoulders like, really, man, we couldn't? No, we gotta be quiet when we're entering the fight. There. Red seems especially sad. Wants to say, we could have just shouted and then started punching.
Alright. So, everybody tell me, what skill or power are you going to use for this first check? Or attribute, I should say, not skill.
I'm going to say I'm going to use my Recluse going to use his strength to just tear down a few walls.
Okay.
Right, surprise.
What are we trying to do?
Alright. Give me... You're starting the assault. Give me roughly what your tactic is going to be. Roughly what you're doing. What attribute off your sheet, attribute or power or whatever, that you're going to be using kind of in this first round.
Are we tearing something down or beating somebody up?
A little bit.
Through more or less a horde of enemies.
Yeah, you're attacking a M.A.A.T base. It's midnight. Most of them are probably asleep.
And I'll be either using strength or the gift of hands, one of those.
Okay.
I know what you're going to do.
I'm going to use my strength, I guess, to just kind of go behind and wreck shit, I guess. Not necessarily tear down walls or nothing, but whoever I see doesn't get up.
Okay.
First one is Recluse, and the second is Launch.
Nice.
Alright, Todd, roll either your gift of hands or your strength, whichever one you want to.
Good. You can do it. There you go.
Alright. Alright,
Alright, so it is an attribute roll, correct? So just the dice next to attribute?
Right.
Alright. Unit Novice will be their willpower for T-blasts in coordination with each other. Overshield will be used along with her shielding ability, or his shielding ability, to make sure, stray bullets aren't coming at it from. And Impulse will be throwing hands.
Alright.
Prowess, I guess.
Yeah.
So
if you have a martial arts skill, that would factor in too.
Alright. They are martial artists, oddly enough.
Go figure.
So I'll go ahead and roll for Impulse. So that was his prowess plus the martial artist modifier.
Okay.
Here. Overshield. To shield the team, make sure they're okay.
Okay.
No one gets shot or hurt bad. And then how do combined efforts work again? Because it'll be two of them doing blasting together. Roll. Or should I just do two separate rolls?
For a pyramid test, just do two separate rolls. Because the way combined effort works, both of them have to have a success anyway, so. Alright, so that is everybody. Okay, now when I rolled the difficulty, I forgot to add I forgot to put the +4 in when I hit the dice. So the dice roll was 1 plus the 4, so the difficulty was 5. Which means probably that I set the difficulty too low, truthfully, but
well, I mean, if you had rolled a 5 or a 6, only a couple things would have gotten through.
This is true. Alright. So we will start with... First Anna was launch, right?
The first one was relaunch.
Alright, so... If you needed a 5 and you got a 7, that's a moderate. So that's one moderate.
I got a 9.
He got a 9, which is 4, so that's a major. Oh wait, what was I looking at? No, the 7 was up before that. You're right. I was looking at the 7 above me and then the 9 below me, but it was the 9 and 11 below me. So you're right. So you got a major. And I got a massive. Todd got a major. Then Unit got a major. And a major. Yes, I'm clearly going to have to figure out the numbers to make these pyramid tests a little more challenging. Since 2 of you got massive successes by yourself.
I don't know. I'm looking how it's all rolling out. It's fine. You don't need to change anything.
So effectively, you would have stacked up 3 massive successes. Of course, a lot of that had to do with me rolling a 1. So basically, being in the middle of the night and them just establishing their base, security was extremely lax. They did not have any camera systems going. There were a couple of guards, but you got the drop on them pretty easy. They clearly were not expecting any trouble. Move you guys closer to the house. So you guys tear through the outbuilding Not a lot of people there, but you're wrecking a good bit of their equipment. You all manage to make it to the main house, really without much fuss having been kicked up yet. You know, until Myrmidon comes tearing through the walls on one side, and Wraith's team is coming through the walls on the other, though by blasting and so forth. They begin laying out people. Taylor, which one of you was with the Wraith team?
Night shift.
Okay. These guys are rough. I mean, you know, you're fighting, bad guy, terrorist type, heat group type, you know. You're not expecting a whole lot of chill out of them. But some of these guys, the Wraith and the guy named Siphon, they both seem to go for the kills as opposed to anything else, you know, ever. Noir, the older gentleman, he seems to be content to just to take him out. You know, when he rounds a corner and somebody's leveling a gun at him, yeah, he may drop the guy, but he's not seem to be overly vicious. You can tell Wraith has got some sort of draining touch, you know. Once they're inside, after she drains the first guy, you see her burst into super speed. So you don't necessarily see a lot of what she's doing because she'll zip around to another room and then you'll just hear men screaming. Reputation-wise, as you haven't been in the game before, the MDA are technically, or I mean the MDM, are technically listed as terrorists with the government. In the media, it's mostly slanted that way, but it's a little up in the air since they are out defending mutants. Amongst the mutant community is a much more mixed view of them. So within 30 minutes, you have pretty well got everybody. You may have had a few stragglers that managed to get out and run, but you've pretty well taken control of the house.
Does Skywatch notice them all running in a pattern, or just scattering?
She notices 3 of them that managed to get out on, get out in the yard, and they're just running. You know, whatever window they got out of, they just keep heading that direction.
Alright.
You know, one guy, it was like he was trying to make it to one of the garages, but y'all had already wrecked that garage, so.
Alright. For little information, you know, a few people are scattering out, but there's no organized emergency escape plan in effect, from what we can tell from outside.
Mm-hmm.
As playing to both teams.
Now you can tell from in here, the living quarters are pretty well finished because it was already a house. But they seem to be in the process of installing a lot of security equipment, you know, computer equipment. It looks like in one of the lower rooms they were setting up some of the rooms to be used like a holding facility. In fact, down in one of the rooms that was in one of the holding rooms that were already finished, you find 2 mutants locked up in there. They have obvious mutations. You know, you can tell mutant at a glance. One of them has been beaten fairly severely, not life-threateningly or nothing, but one of them they have clearly been roughing up. Over on the hero side, I assume y'all have mostly been taking prisoners.
Mostly, yeah. I can't speak for lunch, but Recluse is trying to pull his punches a little bit. A little.
Well, you've also got webbing and other stuff, even.
Yep.
You know, and you didn't say anything about bringing your grenade launchers, so.
I thought about it, but I kind of figured there would be prisoners here, and I didn't want to have any collateral.
You know, and that whole not really knowing how to use them.
Yeah, that too.
It's just point and shoot, right?
When Wraith sees the beaten prisoner, well, when her team sees it, Noir immediately runs over and starts unshackling them. You know, he immediately goes into help them mode. You know, Siphon is just sitting there shaking his head in disgust. Wraith doesn't say anything, she just leaves the room. Give me awareness rolls. It's your favorite roll, Anna.
First is lunch.
About what I expected.
And Recluse.
Alright, since Unison basically tells information amongst themselves as fast as possible, and I got a max roll on awareness on the top dude, so
Yeah.
that was my one roll.
Have you made an awareness roll, Todd? Oh, okay, there we go.
Yeah, I've been rolling ones like a son of a bitch.
Yeah, with your awareness, that really doesn't make a difference. Oh, I guess I should roll a difficulty.
Ow.
Hang on.
That
No.
was the-
That's a D20.
Yeah, that was a D20. That. I was sitting there going, wait a second.
Hold on. Let me say all of Unison's combining their efforts to awareness this.
Alright. That's more like it. Because she's not being super stealthy or anything. It's not like she was slipping, sneaking out of the room. So let's see, 4. So yeah, everybody. Maybe even Anna.
It was bound to happen eventually.
The rest of you, at least, are quite certain she's walking over where y'all left the prisoners tied up.
Night Shift and Novice move to follow her immediately.
Yeah, Recluse just kind of crawls along the ceiling after her.
She steps into the room they're in. She just starts walking out to them. You see her raising her hand.
Hey, hold on!
Night Shift moves in to put a hand out and go, whoa, hold on.
You saw what they did in there. They've probably done worse than that.
Yeah?
Yeah, and there are legal repercussions for what they're doing.
That doesn't mean the fight's over. If,
She-
if they still have their guns, if they're still up, still shooting, I wouldn't condemn you for about trying to kill them.
Novice states, if you're going to rough them up, but they didn't kill them, you don't kill them. They kill their prisoner, you don't kill our prisoners.
I'm sure they've killed before. Most of these type have. And if they haven't, then it's a good time to stop them. Make sure they don't.
Novice veteran.
And you know what? We have stopped them. They're gonna go to jail now. For a long damn time.
They're going to go into the legal system and maybe they'll do something and maybe they won't. You know how many of these turkeys I have seen walk from stuff like this?
Probably more than they should.
Well, you can make sure they can't walk. I ain't going to fight you on that.
Which color is Novice?
Novice is yellow.
Okay, so I like the yellow one, alright.
Night shift is just staying quiet after putting the one hand up to slow her down.
Give me a willpower roll as your let's see. Let's make this a combined effort. So all of you that are trying to convince her not to wholesale slaughter these guys, pick out one of you to be kind of the main roller, and everybody else will attempt to assist.
You said Lunch didn't notice, right?
Well, no, we all noticed, but he's just asking for the people who are actively trying to stop her from.
Yeah, the people that followed her into the room.
Let's say you rolled a 4, she rolled a 4. Which makes it a tie. Which on the outcome.
Wait, who rolled a 4?
Anna did.
And I got a 4.
Oh, okay, for the awareness.
Yeah. Which is a marginal success, 0 degrees. The effort barely succeeds and may fail. So in this case, it was kind of like, where is she heading? And then you see everybody else rush out after her. It's like, oh, that's right, she's heading to the prisoner. So yeah, everybody can be there.
Okay.
Alright. Well, my awareness is 5. What's everybody else's?
All right, this will be willpower.
Willpower?
It's willpower because
willpower, yeah.
you use that for social.
My willpower is 5, though.
Novice has a willpower of 6.
Mine's
Okay.
4.
Todd, what's your willpower?
Alright, how about we just key off of Novice's willpower, and then everybody else will be the ones assisting.
Okay.
Alright.
Now, Todd, Myrmidon had not said anything to her up to this point. Is he helping talk her out of this?
No, not particularly.
Okay. So everybody else give me their rolls, and I will pull her sheet up and roll her.
They've been beating the hell out of innocent people, basically. Yeah, ain't saying a word.
Myrmidon's a little on the rough side.
First one is
I'll
Anna.
roll willpower for Novice and night shift.
Yeah, well, yeah. Night shift can be combining efforts with just like everybody else. So.
Oh, that's down.
Big door will.
All right, let's see. There's her willpower. Does she have any qualities that would factor in? Not really. All right. All right, so I'm assuming Novice is your first roll.
Yes, and then night shift is assisting below.
All right. So night shift gives you a +2. And then Anna and Zach. Whichever one of you rolled a 10, that would be a success. The 9 is a tie, so that would not help anybody. And the way combined effort works, you have the main guy rolling, the first person can help, then it takes 2 successes to boost again. Then 4. Basically, every time you get a bump, you have to double the amount of people with successes. So like if both of those rolls, if Anna and Zach's roll had both been 10 and both been successes, then they'd have given another bump. Since only one of them was, it won't give another bump after the first bump. But basically, his roll comes out, instead of a 12, it comes out to a 14. I think it's a +2 bump.
We have 4 people doing it. +2 bump.
All right.
Future reference with the team I'm running, I'll probably want to go to your place and get a copy of the combined effort rules to stick up.
Yeah, I need to probably need to type them up here in the game. Because I know they're in here. They're tucked away on one of the kind of random pages. I can never quite remember where they are. Breaking and bending, grabbing, maneuvering. But anyway, what I was saying is, one person can combine effort with one other person to give them a bump. To get a second bump, you have to double the number of people, helping. So to get 2 bumps, you have to have at least 3 people helping.
Yeah, you have to have 3 successful assists.
Right. But so that gives you a 14. Now she will roll again to actually resist. The first roll was to establish the difficulty, the baseline difficulty for the assists. And now this will be her actual. Oh.
I'm the most convincing man alive. So, I should break their legs. It'll hurt for longer that way.
Where did I put Wraith? Okay. So I rolled the wrong thing. I will keep the dice roll, and instead of the +1, she should have had a +5 for her willpower, though. I will keep the 1 on the dice, though.
That is fair. A 1 willpower would be kind of strange.
Yeah. So that gives her a 6, which is still... You still blew past into at least a major success. 6 or... No, you blew into a massive success. You have convinced her...
Murder is bad.
Murder might be inappropriate at this moment. She tells you, all right, I will give... I will give it a chance, but I ain't making no promises that if they get off scot-free, that I ain't hunting them down.
Novice and Night Shift look at each other, nod, and go, understood. But if you do it publicly, we may have to go after you.
But if you keep it on the down low, we don't know nothing. Hey, she gives 1 or 2 of them a good swift kick before she leaves. But...
Wow, that could have gone horribly.
You guys are the ones that decided to ask terrorists for help. I'm just saying.
That's why we have heroes. As Night Shift and Novice walk back into the room to check on the prisoners, on the mutant prisoners that we are freeing.
She's gone back in that room, and as y'all walk up, y'all hear Siphon saying to her, I didn't hear no screaming. Did you not kill him?
Well, we all had a major revelation. Recluse crawling along the ceiling and says this. Turns out murder is bad.
The old man is like, eh. If you murder murderers, though, they stop murdering. He's like, I'm not suggesting that we kill prisoners now. Don't take me that far. But I wouldn't exactly mourn for anybody in this house that didn't make it tonight.
I'm on the same page here, but you know, fight's over. So at that point, it just stops being self-defense and just starts kicking. Just starts kicking someone with a broken leg.
Unit kind of also speaks up like that. They were done fighting. They're done fighting. If they don't think they can keep fighting to try to kill you, they're beat.
All right. So
Justice do its thing.
So what are you guys going to do with these prisoners now?
I'd say we should probably interrogate them. See what the leak in the mutant underground is. Or at the very least, if there's any other safe houses in the area.
Okay.
Night shift and Overshield will be on kind of lookout duty, either watching the prisoners that we have or watching outside, make sure there are no reinforcements coming in.
Mm-hmm. All right. Are you going to interrogate the prisoners one at a time or as a group?
Might as well make it a group effort.
Unit chips in. It's, quietly, it's relieved, so there are inconsistencies in the story. They don't know what the inconsistencies are amongst themselves.
I meant more like all of us interrogate them together, not like all the prisoners at once.
So the prisoners individually, but all of y'all are in the room as you're questioning the individual prisoner.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
All right then. We're going to do this as another pyramid test. Rather than have you roll to interrogate each individual prisoner, we'll do a pyramid to determine how much you get out of the entire group, essentially. So let me find the M.A.A.T troopers. Alright, so the difficulty for the tests. It will be their willpower. All of y'all are involved in the interrogation? Everybody's making a roll here?
Yep.
Okay. All of y'all get a determination point. I am tapping their quality loyal. So they will have a +2 on this roll. So let's see, their willpower is a 2+2. So they've got this is their total.
Wow.
Well, don't feel bad about rolling your ones, Todd, because I'm rolling them too.
Yay. I mean, oh.
Alright, so your difficulty is 5. Your baseline difficulty here is 5. Todd, what attribute are you using to help with the interrogation?
Strength.
Alright. Physical intimidation's a thing. Whether you're sitting there bending their equipment while you're talking to them, or hoisting them up, or just casually poking holes in the wall, perfectly viable.
Well, the mutants that they had beaten the hell out of, are they, either one of them able to talk?
Yes.
I'm talking about the people that got beat up.
Yeah,
Put
yeah.
one of them in and basically go point to the one that hurt me.
He was like, they were wearing their helmets. It could have been any of them or all of them. They were taking turns, you know.
Then I grabbed the closest one of them, grabbed his arm and grabbed his shoulder and start to squeeze.
Alright, so you're using your strength. Zach, what are you using?
Yeah, I'm just gonna use the same. I'm just gonna use my strength to just toss a couple of them into the air, catch them, kind of like a baby that I don't care if I drop because I won't feel bad if they break their heads open.
Creepily specific.
You're welcome.
Anna, what are you doing?
I guess I'm gonna use my willpower to, I guess, intimidate them verbally. I guess.
Okay, that's fine. Taylor, what is U.N.I.S.O.N? What's the Power Rangers doing?
Thanks. Alright.
Oh,
I only
It's the
have,
interrogation pose.
3 of them available. So is stating all the illegal things they're doing and the associated jail time considered something that would be helpful here?
I can see you potentially making that intimidating. You know, letting them know what kind of term they could be facing.
Alright, would that be a willpower or awareness or intellect?
You could do it as intellect or willpower, whichever you wanted.
Alright.
You know, intellect to know every single individual little something they're violating. Willpower to present it in a way that is intimidating.
Alright, did Todd do his strength roll?
Not yet. I think
not yet.
one of the Annas is the only one that's rolled.
I thought we both rolled.
Yeah.
Zach's the top one, and I'm the bottom one.
I got a 15.
Okay. For some reason, my screen didn't update until Todd did his, and then y'all's appeared. Or the second one appeared up under 13, I know.
So the difficulty was 5, and we all succeeded.
Alright. Now, alright, so 5. 6, 8, 9, 10. Alright, so that's a massive right there.
Probably should have threatened to feed him to Recluse.
Well, that's implied.
Let's see, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's a massive. Todd is massive. You're dropping the ball, Taylor. You're the only one that got less than a massive success. And you got a major success.
Oh, I'm sorry, do I need to put in 2 supporters?
So you go through questioning these guys. And there's a few individuals in the group that don't crack. But generally speaking, you get most of them spill the beans. What questions are you asking?
Do they have any clue as to the identity of the leak or who the mole in the mutant underground is? They have a clue who that is.
They do not. They don't have the faintest clue. They have an anonymous benefactor that is giving them information.
How does this benefactor contact them? Email, phone?
He uses a Tor-based email service. Which, and this part syncs up with information that you got from the guys you caught in the cul-de-sac. You know, the last big fight, some of them were dropping this information. Can anybody hear me?
Hey.
He's back.
All right, where did I cut off at?
It syncs up with the information we got out of the guy we captured at the suburbs.
Right. Okay. So everything I said sounds like it got through fine.
Nope.
So yeah, the guys you fought in the cul-de-sac, y'all gotten this same information out of them as far as, you know, it's an anonymous benefactor. Any other questions you want to ask?
Do they know if there is another location being set up? Another warehouse, another safe house?
They have a small safe house in town. It's small. It's not that it's a small house, but you know, compared to the compound here, you know, it's a decent sized house with a garage large enough for them to park two of their big vans in. You know, not be visible from the street. With enough housing that, you know, two vans full of guys can stay in the house without being just, you know, completely on top of each other.
We should go back there and beat the hell out of them.
Well, they don't have anybody stationed there regularly. It's just something to use when they're doing operations in town. You know, maybe the heat zone and the cops are looking for those vans, so they park them in that garage for a few days till everything cools down.
That makes sense.
Alright, anything else y'all want to try to get out of
In
them?
charge of this location.
Let's see. What would the ranking system be? You have the guy that's in charge. You have him caught prisoner.
Okay.
They'll refer to him as the chaplain. It's like that's the rank or whatever. You don't know if that's generally the rank of the base commander types or if that's just this guy, or you don't know. But they basically tell you chaplain so and so, and give you, you know, a description so you know which one he is out of this pile of people. You know, he was one of them that you caught sleeping, so he wasn't in any kind of uniform to tell you who he is. He's sitting there in his boxers, basically.
So, strapling, you say?
I assume we are now transitioning to grabbing the chaplain and putting him under investigation.
Yeah, if you want to.
Because he probably knows more information than the average good.
Yeah, you sit him down in the chair. He is one of the guys that did not break under the previous round of interrogation.
You know, I think I know a way to get this guy to talk.
Break his leg?
Y'all start bantering back and forth about how to torture this guy. He just looks at you. Do your worst, mutant.
Click the light bulb. So, I'm going to burn one of those fancy little determination points you gave us.
Okay. What attribute are you, or what novice? What aspect are you tapping?
Blessed by the crawling gods to pull off a power stunt. My dimensional transportation to drag him into the web world with me.
That works. I was actually thinking that. I like where your head's at.
Oakley dokley.
So
What the what?
Well,
Come, my godly rainbow-colored friends. Allow the Myrmidon to educate. Or worlds beyond worlds.
sometimes they're filled with gigantic talking insects.
Is it a different plane?
Yeah.
Essentially, yeah.
Best not to look. We know that you are the entertainment of children everywhere. Best to keep you pure and try and, get them to turn away.
Using his massive bulk to kind of block their view.
The Myrmidon requires explanation. How did the Green Ranger manage to blow into a flute with a helmet on?
And it sounded like a trumpet.
There are no green Unison members available to test this theory.
Well, she's visibly disappointed.
Alright, so yeah, we kill the lights.
No, I'm still here. I'm just listening to y'all go back and forth. With the light.
So, the last thing he sees before they kill the lights is...
Zach, I'm getting a lot of echo off of you.
Oh,
Not like the previous one. It's like this weird kind of distortion or something kind of when you talk.
On my end, it sounds like cricket.
It does kind of, which is appropriate but weird.
yeah. What about now?
Still a little bit, but I can make out what you're saying. So.
Alright. So the last thing he sees before they kill the lights is Recluse just getting down, getting right up into his face very slowly, grabbing him by his shoulders. Do you believe in God, Chaplain?
I do, freak.
Lights go out, and with that, Recluse yanks him from the chair and darts to the nearest corner, and pops into a web world, a place lit by this brown and purple bruise-colored light. All around them are just these gigantic horse-sized centipedes and arachnids scuttling across every available surface. And in the far distance, there's the gigantic chitinous form of the crawling gods. These are my gods.
All right, give me a willpower roll with your +2 for tapping the quality.
+2 bladder control.
So that's 11.
All right. Let me pull up the Dear Chaplain.
We're just all standing in the room, hands together, twiddling their thumbs. You got plans tomorrow, man? Dude, what are you doing?
Oh, good lord.
So
I
that's
think you failed a sanity roll.
that's an 8 over.
That's well into the massive success. He just opens his mouth and screams. He screams for 2 solid minutes before he manages to say anything the least bit coherent. He will tell you. He's like, I'll tell you anything you want to know. Please, for the love of God, get me away from these things. He's screaming so loudly that it's actually drawing the attention of the various denizens of this place. One of them actually addresses you, Zach. Greetings, little Hamid. We have not seen you in some time. Does your friend need to be fixed like we fixed you?
What'd you say?
Does he need to be fixed?
Do we need to fix your little friend like we fixed you?
Oh, don't worry. I'm doing just, but you've done plenty enough to fix him right now. Thank you so much. I'm gonna try and visit him a little bit more often. It's just been really busy back in my home world. See y'all later. And with that, pop back into the real world.
For the rest of you, you see Recluse pop back out of a dark corner, holding this guy he's grabbing Recluse's arms and kind of screaming at him, "Don't let them change me! Don't let them do what they did to you!" He has wet himself. The rest of y'all notice that immediately. Even Launch.
He seems to be without the bladder control of the matchless Myrmidon.
So yeah, I think he's ready to talk.
He is more than ready to talk. So what do you want to know from this guy?
Everything.
Well,
Aye.
when he was in 4th grade, he took some fake vomit and poured it out of the balcony at the movie theater.
Current location of the bases, locations they're looking at to make bases, other groups they're in contact with.
You get a list of a few other sort of militia, a few other kind of anti-government, anti-mutant militias. None of those names peg you as anybody big or anybody you've heard of. So you figure it's just small militias and, miscellaneous states. They're in contact with other anti-mutant groups in other parts of the world. They are in contact with corporations that are interested in buying mutants for experimentation. Which is something M.A.A.T has always denied being involved in. But this guy's flat out telling you, yeah, half the time we catch them and sell them, so,
Wait, Overshield stops for a minute and goes, "Wait, sir, if you're against mutants, why would you sell mutants to people that want to use more mutant abilities, which will make more mutants?"
It's the lesser of evils. We need funding. We'll take them all out eventually, but, in the meantime, if they're locked up in a lab, they're not out hurting decent folk.
Overshield just sits there and goes, "I think you may have a misunderstanding of how... Never mind, just... okay."
I don't think it works that... Oh, never mind. You're an idiot. Let's see. They have contacts in the CIA. He knows this. He does not know specifically who they are. He ain't quite that high ranking.
What about local authorities they are in?
You get the names of a couple of local police captains that one of them supplies them with information. When he basically he gives them any information that he runs across that he thinks they'd like. Both the police captains do that. One of them, they're paying him to do this. The other one, it's just voluntary. He just don't like mutants. So he's just helping the cause, whenever he runs across something that he thinks would help him.
Does he know of any physical proof of this? Like, when he's telling me, does he say, or when he's telling us, does he say that there's any kind of paperwork associated with it, or like there's paperwork of someone being arrested and then a transfer that never happened or something like that?
The only thing approaching paperwork is the one they flat out bribe. They pay him via bitcoins. So on their accounts, there's some record of them having access to their computers and him being willing to give you the passwords. You could potentially prove that they had been giving this guy's account.
This guy's account money.
Right.
All right.
they have recordings of every conversation they've had with both of these guys. Just in case they ever needed to blackmail these guys for some reason. In case they ever got cold feet about helping, they'd have these to apply some pressure.
Yeah, we're gonna make copies of all that shit.
Yep.
And Launch is recording this, right? Yeah.
Let's see. He has the email address that they use for their mysterious contact. He does not know who it is. He has managed... Well, not he himself, but he has a more computer-savvy guy that has managed to, due to a mistake the benefactor made, managed to grab an ISP address. Which, you know, Tor is supposed to stop, but if you don't have something set up on your end, apparently that can flake out. And sometimes people can snag you.
Does the ISP do a location near us?
In town, yes. It's one of the ISPs in the Farron Steel building.
Is that the guy that hired us?
Yes. Well, he's Farron Steel. It's was it Steel Applied Technologies? Was the actual company name? So the ISP is somewhere in the building. Now, keep in mind, it's a huge office building. There are hundreds, if not maybe 1,000 people that work for this guy in this town.
You know, I might say to give this guy another visit and let Launch sort of slip by unnoticed and find a bug at the...
Well, if y'all recall, I've already done that at that one facility we were at.
This is a different facility, though.
Well, I mean, that facility should have access to other facilities.
Well, I think the major problem here is the ISP shows this office.
Yeah.
The problem is there are umpteen hundred computers connected to the ISP.
Mm-hmm.
It's the idea of I'm trying to find a piece of hay in a haystack that someone happened to scribble on.
Yeah.
So it looks identical to everything else, unless we sat there and somehow poured through 1,000 computers and found the email.
Yeah, M.A.A.T has been trying to narrow down what employee there it is that's contacting them. You know, the company itself has a fairly pro-mutant, stance politically, as far as like what charities it supports and whatnot.
Now we could.
And it is not on the list of companies that they sell to.
We could go to Steele, give him the information, and if it's not him himself doing it, there may be a key logging system in their computers to monitor employees, so they could pour through that to try to find the person.
That's very possible. As you're discussing with him, you begin to hear sirens in the distance.
What does Skywatch see?
5 or 6 police cars.
Actual police or like black car?
These are actual police cars. These are regular old police cars. Lights are going, everything.
Alright.
This compound does not have really, really close by neighbors. I mean, there's a lot of land before you get to the house. But there are houses across the street,
Hey, I have a question. Is the group we came with, I can't remember their name, are they still there with us?
The Mutant Defense Militia, they are still there presently and taking notes. When they hear the sirens, the older fella is like, yeah, it's probably time for us to bug out.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking.
He looks over at Recluse. No offense, son. No offense.
I'm taking. I understand. It's just an expression. Yeah, it's been great working with you guys.
Try to be a little less murdery.
You're awesome. But you're kind of intense. You're at a 12. Bring it down to maybe a 9. 12 to 9.
Just At least.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, this worked fairly well. You know, don't hesitate to contact us in the future. You know, if you need backup, if you know, on something that will help mutant kind.
I think they give me a call in the not too distant future.
Alright. Did we give them a copy of the Dirty Cop submission, or no?
They heard all the information, unless y'all specifically copied it for them, though. So, did y'all make them a copy?
Or make them a copy later if we agree to it.
Okay.
Yeah. Honestly, I want to not give them that copy right away because that sounds like a great way to. Officer McMullen was found dead in a ditch this morning. Just dead in a ditch this morning for unknown reasons.
Oh, they wouldn't do that.
Alright. Unit listens in for a minute and is giving, you know, information to the MDM where the best route out. Because Skywatch sees where the cop cars are and says, you know, they're here, 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 and here.
Grim Noir just looks at you. Oh, that was kind of you to give us that information, but we have an exit. He walks over. He opens a closet door. The other two walks in. He steps in, tips his hat to y'all, and shuts the door.
You know, I really need to learn how to do that.
Novice walks over and opens the door.
The closet's empty.
Novice goes, why do we not have that kind of teleportation? And Unit just kind of puts his hand on his face.
But listen, we can't all have access to Narnia technology.
All right, police begin pouring into this place.
Alright, are we leaving?
Are you leaving? Are you talking to the police?
Honestly, it might be a good idea. You know, we should just bail. We really should just bail, I think.
Alright, Impulse.
If we bail, it's going to be their word against ours, and we're not going to be there to back ourselves up either.
Impulse and Night Shift are staying to talk. The rest of the team is moving out.
Okay. What about the one? What about?
I don't know how to remove icons for.
All right. How many of y'all are staying? How many of your guys are staying?
Impulse and Night Shift, so just two.
Okay. The Periwinkle one.
Skywatch is still invisible in the sky right now.
Okay. Then yeah, you see, you know, the police pull up. I assume you announce your presence.
Impulse is going to be standing outside the house waving. You know, hello.
Oh, as they drive up, basically. Okay.
Yes. You know, his hands are up, he's waving. He's showing that he does not have a weapon or anything. But, you know, he's in a costume, they kind of know him.
Yeah, you've been on TV enough. With this big a group of cops, at least one of them's going to kind of know who you are. You know, even with you being a bit of a rookie. And truthfully, the police probably keep a pretty good report on active superhumans in their cities anyway.
And we have a legal representative that's been in communication with the police.
That's right. You said you had helped with the police a time or two.
Well, we had asked permission to do public speaking and stuff.
Okay. They rush up. They've got guns out. They don't point the guns at you. You know, some of them start spreading around to, you know, the higher ranking officer. Or I should say, you know, this guy's dressed in regular clothes, obviously a detective. Or some higher ranking something. He walks up to you. You're one of those Unison guys, right?
Yes, sir. How can I be of assistance today?
What is going on here? We got a call that there were holes in the, you know, holes have been knocked in this the neighbors saw holes knocked in. They didn't see what caused it. They heard some gunfire.
Yes, this is a base for a group called M.A.A.T. M.A.A.T, correct?
M.A.A.T. Mankind Against Aberrant Terrestrials.
Our group was contacted and told they were holding illegal prisoners here. Or prisoners obviously obtained in illegal fashion.
Mm-hmm.
After some preliminary investigation, we had noticed that they were assaulting these people, and U.N.I.S.O.N immediately had to jump in to assist.
All right.
Assist their release, not the beating. Sorry, a little miscommunication. Sorry, sir.
The detective's like, I understand. Can you show her? You know, he's got half the squad or so of cops is behind him. You know, show us these people. So you lead them into the house.
Is there anyone else of the team in the house?
Okay.
Staying to talk, or...
Did the rest of y'all stay to talk?
I did.
I didn't.
Yeah, Recluse balance.
All right, so it's just the two members of U.N.I.S.O.N, Night Shift and Impulse. All right, so Impulse, just his group walked in, illegal weapons that it's legal to have them. They started firing. A fight happened, and he shows that are the two mutants still there?
Yes.
Yeah. So it shows these two people were being beaten by the members of this group. Shows the prisoners. Their current leader is Chaplain so and so. Points at him, and the others that assisted will be making copies of the information we gathered from them. You can investigate them yourselves.
Who else assisted?
We'll give you physical.
They don't have a name. They've never publicly had a name.
Yeah.
You would have seen news reports referring to him as the Manfred 4. Though there were only 3 of them today, so you're not sure what's going on.
There were members associated with the group called the Manfred 4.
Okay, he's like, I'm familiar. Big rock guy, freaky spider guy.
Yeah. Since there were reports of people being, in danger, they showed up to assist.
All right. Some of the officers also start taking reports from the released prisoners. They immediately call an ambulance. They immediately call in ambulances, of course. So an hour or so passes. They separate your team members to collaborate the story. Different officers are interviewing the different guys.
Yeah, I got you. U.N.I.S.O.N doesn't lie, so their stories will line up.
Yeah. They do the same thing essentially with the prisoners. As soon as the ambulance gets there, they load the injured guy because only one of them was severely beaten. The other guy, he had some bumps and bruises, but he clearly had not just been systematically beaten. While all this is going on, a black unmarked car pulls up. From the air, Skywatch sees the police at the road, stop them just very briefly, and then they come on forward. It's like they stop them just long enough to look at some identification they've got, and then step back and let them through.
Right. You see Impulse. There's an unmarked vehicle coming in. Who is that?
You talking to the detective that you're speaking with?
Yeah, the detective. Yes.
He gets on his radio. Sounds like some government. Sounds like some feds.
Impulse goes, which is it, CIA?
The detective looks at you funny. No, the identification was FBI.
Alright. The only information, the chaplain previously said that he had some unknown affiliates within the CIA.
Oh, okay.
I had a little panic moment.
Okay, yeah.
I was afraid that somehow they got information on this real fast.
Two men in black suits and sunglasses get out. And they both got earpieces. I mean, straight men in black looking guys. me see here. One of them has got a slightly receding hairline. You know, they pull up, they get out. They ask the first officer they see, who's in charge here. He points them towards, you know, the detective. The detective steps forward and greets them, asks them who they are. The receding hairline guy seems to be kind of the spokesman of the two. You know, he shows the FBI credentials, introduces himself as Agent Tolliver. This is Agent Davis.
Unit, who is currently leaving with the rest of them, is conveying the information being given.
Mm-hmm.
To the group that has already left.
Okay. So all of y'all are in the link because one of the other Unison guys is telling you what's going on.
Specifically, Unit.
Where is Skywatch at?
Basically, above the main house, about 300 yards up, and currently not visible.
Okay. You know, detective introduces himself, shakes his hands. Does not seem to be surprised that the FBI would show up. A little surprised at how quick they got here. But, you know, if you filled him in on what was going on here, then you got into the whole mutant trafficking, which is, that's a crime that, you know, that crosses state lines. That draws the FBI, you know. That is flat out just their jurisdiction. When Tolliver looks at you, give me a willpower roll.
All right. Does my specialty? I'm going to assume my specialty will add a +1 to this.
The specialty that I think you're referring to, yes, it does.
All right. So that'll be a 10 total.
Okay. So, you know, he looks at you for a moment. And then just the slightest pause. Then he introduces himself. His hand starts to move and you think he's going to go shake your hand, so you put yours out, but he's really just reaching up to light a cigarette.
That's on point for impulse.
Let's see. Agent Davis, standing behind him, also looks at you. Give me another will save.
And +1's at the 10.
Would you like to tap a aspect to bump that?
Yes, and I will bump Paranoia Agent up. He's trying to look into something, and I'm pretty sure I know what he's looking into.
Alright, spend a determination. You tap your quality Paranoia Agent. Give yourself a +2.
Alright, so that will bump that up to a total of 12.
Oh, that's right, because you got yours.
+1 for specialty, +2 for determination.
And let's see, both of them are going to make awareness rolls for me. Okay, that's not enough to worry about. They start asking you, you know, after this brief little oddness.
Impulse also notices, he goes, if you guys are trying to check, yes, we have Skywatch currently in the air observing.
Both of the agents look up.
And turn invisible. You won't be able to see her. Just, we are alerting you she is there.
300 yards away. Even if she was visible, they'd be having a hard time making any detail out. Okay. He's like, thank you for being forthright. Thank you for that information. And he starts asking you a lot of the same questions the cops have asked you, but you know, with police and investigators, they're always running through the same questions, you know, multiple times to make sure everything stays lined up, or to try to shake more details loose. They seem very specific on, how did you find out about this place? You know, why did you move in yourselves as opposed to alerting the proper authorities? You give me an awareness roll.
Okay. If it hasn't popped up for you yet.
What is it?
My awareness roll. Say total of 13.
Okay. Yeah, okay. It popped up. It didn't make a little noise, so I wasn't sure if that was a new one or an old one.
Okay.
You're pretty sure he doesn't like you.
That's fair enough.
All the slight... It's not that he's being super blatant with it. But all of his questions are kind of tilted towards, well, why did you do this? And why did you do that? And, you know, who are these other people helping you? And, you know, why didn't you go to the authorities? And everything's got a slight, kind of accusing tone to it.
Accusational tone.
Yes, yes. Like I said, it's nothing super blatant. You catch it with a 13. You kind of glance over your, you know, I mean, you're in your helmet, so they can't see you as you just kind of cut your eyes. And the detective's got a look on his face like he's caught it. You know, not like he's super puzzled, but, you know, it's like you're pretty sure he picked up on it. But, of course, in law enforcement, there's a, you know, wide range of how they look at heroes. But, you know, as you're talking, one of the police officers runs back in, or not runs, but walks swiftly in, starts talking to the detective about all the grenade launchers and rocket launchers and armored vehicles they've just found in some of the surrounding buildings. You know, you had wrecked the buildings pretty good, but, you know, some of that equipment is still... So in addition to the kidnapping and, you know, whatever, unlawful detainment or whatever, they've also got them on some weapons charges now. Because, you know, the little assault rifles and stuff they have, it's not illegal to own those.
Yeah.
Grenade launchers, yeah, that's some more serious stuff there. As they go to question the other member of your team that is visible. They both do kind of the squint thing at him, too. But they seem to get the same results they got with you. They don't, you know... Or got with the... Who is it? You said Unit is here, and...
Unit is gone. Unit is currently with the runners. The only two here are Impulse and Night Shift.
Okay.
And Skywatch in the air.
Night Shift's black, Impulse is yellow, Skywatch
Impulse is red. Skywatch.
I'll make a chart eventually. I can remember that Skywatch is periwinkle.
I'm sorry that this got super complicated on you. Night Shift is night, so, you know, black.
Yeah, I can remember him.
Impulse is red.
Alright. So, is Unit with the rest of the guys, is he the one relaying this information to them?
Yes.
Okay. Is there anything you'd like to say to the FBI guys? Anything you'd like, you know... And this goes for the entire group, because y'all can relay questions to him.
I'll go ahead and state, you know, we're giving a you know, the information will be made, you know, copies of the information will be made, copies of the interrogation we did will be made, through our legal representative, and giving the details of, hey, we're more or less saying we're scared to give all the information to you in one chunk by itself because we have been told you have leaks. So you're going to make copies and give a copy to each organization in turn, the exact same copies. You all can corroborate and look and see it's the same stuff. We just don't want to give the base copies to someone and then it gets slipped under a table by accident or broke by accident.
The detective looks unhappy at your insinuating that there are leaks in his department.
Well, sir, we were told there were leaks.
Oh,
I
okay, yeah.
There are. Can't prove there aren't, but I want to be safe.
Okay, yeah, he kind of gets that. The FBI agents would clearly rather you just give them the information right now and even say as much. They do not seem surprised by your attitude. Can any of you hear me, or have I disconnected again?
Covered all the bases.
Alright. Roll 20 keeps disconnecting with me, but I am back. Where did I leave off? What's the last thing y'all heard me say?
The FBI agent said they would rather us just give it up front.
Okay. But they don't seem surprised by your tactic, It's like they see that as the common sense tactic. But they just rather have the stuff. But they don't push you on it. One of the agents goes and begins messing around on the computers. He's wearing gloves. He's not leaving fingerprints. Would not be messing up the fingerprints of somebody else left on there. Rest of the group, anybody else got questions they'd like to pass through and have asked of these FBI guys?
How did you get here so fast?
Impulse will go ahead and say, how did you guys get here like 5 minutes after the police? Because that's impressive coming from someone who watches the police enter the scene pretty fast.
Agent Oliver, takes a long drag off a cigarette. We had been investigating this facility for a while. So as soon as a call went out, as soon as the call for the police went out involving this address, we immediately rolled out to see what was going on. If we had driven up and it was just a car wreck in the street in front, we'd have just kept on going. But since there were since they were visible from the road, holes in the house visible from the road, and the police, everywhere, we just drove on up. Give me, let's see, willpower does your social interaction, so give me a willpower roll.
Would this be classified under investigation for my specialty, or is this just noticing how someone's talking?
I'm thinking of it like a sense motive in D&D kind of thing, or insight. But let me look up investigation and see if. I think investigation is more finding clues and recognizing kind of clues for what they are. Oh, now. Okay, note to self. I need to mark where the specialties are. Specialties, page 62. That is the list, not the descriptions. 124 for the descriptions. Because why have it all together? Alright, investigation. No, this is gathering, analyzing evidence from a crime scene, digging up information, tailing people, and finding lost people or items. In short, being a detective.
Alright. So just a straight willpower then?
Yes, just a straight willpower. Versus his willpower.
It's a tie.
It's a tie, and ties are a success that can also be a failure. Because you come out to a 0 on the success thing. So basically, you don't get the feel that he's lying to you or anything. It's a perfectly reasonable explanation. But you're also not super convinced of it. You're just kind of like, okay, you know. Kind of like when you have that buddy that always BS's. You know, it's like if he's telling a story, he may not know all the details, he just kind of fills them in.
Is Impulse in a way he could support me on this, or is he too far away?
This is not really something you can do a combined effort on.
Okay, that's fair.
So yeah, it's one of them things where that's reasonable. I don't know if I necessarily believe it, but it's reasonable.
There's no hole I can poke in this, so I'll act like I believe it.
Right.
Alright, moving forward.
Eventually, they've run out of things to really ask you at the moment. You know, you've given a pretty thorough report. You've told them you're going to pass copies of the information on to them. The detective really just sets it up for you or your legal representative to come in.
And hand in the stuff.
Yeah, come into the, the middle of the night. So come into the station the next day. Like you said, you and your legal representative have interacted with the police before, so you've got some good not good press, good
relations.
Yes, you have a fairly good relationship with the local PD so far. And Manfred is relatively hero friendly. So once they tell you they can leave, how do your guys leave?
They both reach up their comms, go babysit for 2, and they poof out.
Babysit?
Babysit.
Oh, babysit.
Like, they're calling it a babysitter to come pick them up.
Oh, gotcha. And then they just vanish.
Well, not to leave to the people. They step outside and then babysit for 2.
And then... Alright. Alright. So how do you guys want to follow up on this? On the information that you have found?
Honestly, I really think our first stop should be to visit a Steel Applied Technologies or whatever the name was.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to get in touch with the guy and see what's what regarding
Okay. Well, you started your attack around midnight. So by the time all this wraps up, it's probably 3 or 4 in the morning. So you could go to the facility now, but they probably gonna be much of nobody there but the night watchman.
Yeah. I was thinking more like later in the day.
Okay.
Instead of an immediate follow-up.
Set up a time to meet back up in the morning.
Yeah.
So, get copies of the information made for all the people we want to make copies for.
Yeah, you got plenty of time to do that. Do that, catch a nap, and then, meet back up. Alright. Well, I figure y'all are just running right in the city, so here's the city.
Oh, this is retro as shit. I love it.
That is a very tiny, big stadium.
I think this is from a Cyberpunk game, and somebody kind of did their own drawing of it. I just thought it was a neat enough.
Very cyberpunk, yeah.
Well, I like the ideal of this, you know, round, real techie looking spot over here, kind of being the Farron Steel place. So, do you call ahead? Do you call ahead to Steele's facility, or to his office building, or do you just show up and talk to the secretary? You know, talk to the receptionist.
I'd say we just show up.
How are y'all making y'all's approach? I should say. All right, Zach says just show up. Everybody else?
I'd call and see if Steele is there to have a meeting. If he's available. I mean, if he's not there, I don't want to show up.
That is a point.
And also, no offense, U.N.I.S.O.N walking 6 men deep into a situation usually means there's a fight, so I don't really want to put off that vibe.
Walk in V formation. Everybody kind of goes, and you go, relax, relax, we're just here to talk. 5 minutes later, windows are getting blown out. Alright, so does U.N.I.S.O.N call ahead?
In a sense, yes. But I mean, it doesn't matter if I call ahead or if U.N.I.S.O.N calls ahead because, like, I'm not part of the Manfred 4. I'm not part of the people that were addressed to do this by Steele.
Well, no, Steele didn't send them to do this. When they referred to Steele as somebody that had hired him previously, that had to do with a mission where his facilities were being attacked, and he asked them to investigate. This was an earlier interaction.
Then, yeah, I'd have the legal representative call ahead and see if they could schedule an addressment of a leak in their information system with Mr. Steele.
It takes your guy a little while to get through. You know, it's like you have to keep talking to him before they'll actually talk to Steele. But after that, it goes smoothly. You get the impression that Steele has no problem meeting a superhero or a group of superheroes.
Alright. And since my character is not currently, well, I guess Unit would have stuck with them if they stuck together, but everyone else's approach.
So anyway, so you set up a time. I'm assuming you set up the appointment to be the same time the guys were planning to show up.
Yeah.
Try to, yeah.
Alright, so all of y'all meet outside. You walk in. The receptionist is a little overwhelmed. Is the entire U.N.I.S.O.N team here?
Just Unit and Novice.
Which one's Novice?
Gray and yellow.
Okay, gray and yellow. So you walk in. 3 of the Manfred 4 walk in. The receptionist is like she didn't realize, you know, just how many of y'all there were going to be, but you know, it's not really an issue. Some of the security guys, or no, not the security guys. Bernard, I think was his name. Do y'all remember Steele's Not you talking, the rest of them. Do you remember Steele's little right-hand man? Spoken kind of a monotone voice, was very unemotional. I think his name was Bernard. But he comes down to meet you and escort you up, kind of like he did last time. Well, last time I think he picked you up in a car and brought you. But he walks up. Good day. We knew we had set up a meeting with U.N.I.S.O.N. We did not realize that you were returning to, grace us with your presence.
Well, look in, say hi, ask what the hell's going on.
I see.
Unit touches the support headphone. I'm sorry, sir. When we called, legal representative called in, I assumed he knew these men were also joining in, or these people were also joining in. I apologize for this communication.
It's quite all right. I doubt Mr. Steele will mind. He seems to get quite a kick out of meeting you people. Heroes, I mean. So he takes you up to this office. Like last time, the big couch and coffee table that you see there are gone. There's plastic tarping put down. And there is a mostly reassembled Model T car sitting there. For you, Tarky, the last time they met him, when they walked in, he was working on this disassembled Model T over on one side of his office. It's been a week or two. He's got it about put back together now. This time he is at his desk in the full suit. Where, last time he had the suit coat off and had an apron on because he was actually working on it. He finishes typing something as y'all walk through. He gets up. Unit, it's very nice to meet you. He's seen you and your squad on TV. Pardon?
I was going to say, it's nice for the group of U.N.I.S.O.N. to meet you too, sir.
Of course, it's good to see you three again. What brings you down here? Any more information on the people that were attacking my facilities?
Well, not exactly, no, but long and short, we had a run-in with a group called M.A.A.T. I assume you're aware of their existence.
Oh yeah, he gets a very kind of unhappy look. Oh yeah, I have heard of these people. Yes, they're one of your bigger hate groups.
Well, one of your employees, we don't know who, had feeding them some information regarding the location of various mutants and the movement of the mutant underground.
One of my employees? You're certain?
Yes, sir.
Wait one moment, says Novice. We know an email is sent through your ISP. We do not know if a person from your company has been doing it or a person somehow snuck in. But the email was sent from your office's location.
Either way, that seems unlikely with our security. He kind of motions you over to his desk. He gets on the desk, starts typing away. Do you have the ISP?
Novice strips in. Yes, sir. We do have the ISP that was shown up.
All right. He asks what it is.
Rattle it off.
The first three numbers he types in quickly, and then he just stops as you keep going. He leans back. That's my computer.
What now?
When Novice rattles off the ISP number, he stops typing halfway through like he's surprised and kind of leans back and tells you that's the ISP for my computer. Where did you get this information? You know, who gave you this information?
A M.A.A.T chaplain. One of their higher ranking members.
Oh.
And novice once again chips in and goes, well, it was Chaplain told us he gets an anonymous email from someone using a obscurer, but the obscurer slipped up during one of the emails and showed this ISP. Meaning that the service to block it or obscure it did not function properly.
Oh, yes.
And the ISP slipped through. And then Novice kind of like slips back.
He looks at a unit. I'm assuming he's one of your tech guys.
Unit just kind of goes, yeah, and he likes to over-explain on occasion.
There's only a very few people that have would have access to the ability to get to my computer. I mean, somebody I suppose could have spoofed the IP, but why they would choose mine? Well, hold on, he starts typing away, he starts pulling up logs. Looking around. The monitor on the wall there, he throws up the display up there. And what you find is he's got a log of times that his computer was used, because he highlights the ones he finds that he thinks are relevant, where they were used at odd times. 2 o'clock in the morning, midnight. Times that he tells you I'm not in the office then. Well, occasionally at midnight, I'll admit, but I don't usually put in any later days than that. He tells you he is, he's like, I see what the problem was. I see how they managed to track it. We use a kind of a VPN setup here, our own proprietary one. But we keep close tabs on what goes through it. What they did here was use just a typical kind of onion server, Tor setup. And then, at least one of these times, they must not have disabled our proprietary one first, and there was some kind of conflict there. He's like, that's how whoever was tracking them back managed to find our ISP. He's like, they were logging in with my credentials. He starts typing again. Everybody give me awareness rolls.
First is M. And Recluse.
And does my investigation qualify for this as gathering clues, or
No, not at this particular roll. No. It's a bad roll, but look how high the number is, despite the fact that you're making a bad roll.
I'm cosmically aware.
I'm just comically aware.
Yep.
Poor Todd.
Mine.
So proud of his awareness, but now he's only the second most aware person in the group. Oh yeah, hang on, let me roll the number that you are opposing. Alright, he's got stealth. Coordination. All right. Alright, so you're trying to beat a 9. Okay, so Unit is the only one that notices this. Bernard is slowly slipping back to the elevator.
Unit begins and goes, novice hunt. Elevator now. And just novice bolts to the elevator.
Y'all hear Unit say that? The yellow Power Ranger turns around and sprints for the elevator. As you say that, Bernard turns and runs for the elevator as well.
I guess Recluse tries to snare Bernard with his webs.
Okay. I won't pull up a full initiative order. Taylor, give me a coordination roll for Yellow Power Ranger. What was his name again? Novice. And I will give one for Bernard.
Goodness.
Just means Bernard. Bernard will go, then you will go, then Recluse will go. Since, you know, he's only realizing something's going on as Novice starts moving, so. Bernard pulls his gun and shoots at Novice. Those of you that have met Bernard before, somebody the last time noticed that he had a concealed weapon up under his coat. Which, if part of his job is security or bodyguarding, was not, you know, didn't raise any flags, not anything unusual. That's what the guy was using. Alright. Alright, I need Novice to give me a coordination roll to dodge.
Does martial arts help?
No, that would help with prowess.
Well.
Ouch.
That's going to sting a little bit.
Does it do?
Hang on, let me look at Alright. Outcomes. Alright, so your dodge is a 6, so that's the number he needs to hit. That is 5 or more, so that's a massive success that he has on you.
Joyful.
Next issue, Novice shows up. People go, why do you sound different? What is it with the poor Yellow Power Rangers dying? Alright, this is a killing attack.
He does have the armor up at least. It'll take some of the hit. Probably not enough.
Alright. That's right, I forgot about the armor. Alright, this is a pistol. So it's doing 4 damage. It's a pretty heavy, pretty high caliber pistol. Got a pretty hinky bullet. But... So what is your armor rating?
Well, right now it's a rank 5. As soon as it gets hit, it's a rank 4.
That's right, because it's got the whole ablative thing going. But it's rank 5 right now?
Yes.
Okay.
Its first rank is rank 5.
You take no damage then.
Wow.
With the massive success, had it done 0 damage or more, you would have it would have been a kill result, and he'd have basically have to make a check not to die. Since it's 5, that actually puts the damage at -1, which means nothing.
Okay.
I mean, it hurts. He feels like he's been punched, and it's kind of an But it doesn't stop him from doing whatever he's doing. Alright, now Novice gets to go.
Alright. Novice will say to unit, drop in 3, and then take a... He grabs his arm as though it's a cannon, which this would have been seen during any other fight, and does a T-blast out of his hand.
Okay.
At Bedard's legs. Something non-killing, but still trying to knock him down and stop him from escaping.
Yeah, I got you.
Oof. The weak roll.
Alright. And you've got that set up to use your coordinate. Oh no, you use your. Okay, yeah. Never mind. I remember how it works now. But he would dodge. But Bernard would dodge with his coordination. He's moving pretty fast. As soon as he sees you start to do that, he kind of goes into kind of an evasive, dip, dive, and dodge kind of thing. So, everybody hears kind of a thump as your blast hits the floor. But you don't stop him. Recluse.
Alright, I'm going to tap, burn a determination point and tap Justice for the Forgotten to give me a +2 to my web spray.
Okay. And that would be his coordination to dodge.
That'll be a 10 to beat. Oh, just rate it.
Alright.
Well, because yours gets +2, so it'll be a 10 against his 8.
Oh, that's right. So yeah, 2 is a moderate success. And that is is it called snare or I think it works like an affliction. Yeah, let me look up swinging. No, binding, that's what it was. Failure has no effect. Marginal success. Achieves a partial hold, but material level of the binding is halved. You, I believe I said, had a moderate success.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, 1 or 2 degrees is moderate. You achieve a partial hold. The target can perform actions, but at a -2 and can't move from the spot. A moderate success can also upgrade the existing partial hold to a complete hold. So you don't get any webbing on like his upper body, but his legs and feet have been webbed to the ground. So he's stuck standing there, but he can still shoot you with the -2 penalty. All right, now launch, Myrmidon. Either one of y'all that want to go can go.
I'm ordering pizza, so whoever wants to go can go next.
All right,
Does unit get the turn?
Oh, I forgot about unit. Okay, yeah, launch and unit can go now. Just decide amongst yourselves who you want to go first.
Go ahead and go first, launch.
Great. I guess I'm just gonna charge him. I'm gonna jump out on like I usually do.
Okay, so you're gonna jump over there and punch him. All right, so you leap over there. Give me an attack roll versus his prowess. Bernard is the man. And he really shouldn't be. Alright. Alright, so that's a tie, it's a marginal, so... In combat, I don't believe marginals do anything.
I might get a bonus for that.
Were you tapping something?
No, that's like. You're thinking of something else.
So, you know what, though? I'm going to say he's got a -2 to that for the webbing. If your feet are stuck to the ground, there's a lot less dodging you can do. And dodging would kind of be an action, so I think he would have the negative. I think he's supposed to have the -2 to that. Which makes it a good solid hit. What's your strength, Anna?
A 6.
Alright. Alright, his strength is not that high. I don't actually have stats for Bernard. I was using one of the agents, but he's not quite as statted up as buff as the agents. So we'll give him a strength of 3. Yeah, we'll give him a strength of 3, willpower 3. So he's got 6 stamina. It's alright. So you leap over there. You know, you're in the air. You come down on him. You catch him clean on the side of the head. He just drops his gun and slumps to the ground. While all this is going on, Steele is just standing there at his desk like, you know, he composes himself very quickly, but the initial shock of it was just kind of, he's not a man used to violence, you know, around his person.
Unit immediately, Unit pops and goes, "Sir, I'm terribly sorry for this. We noticed Bernard was immediately moving the elevator. A hunt coordination is for him to block, is for Novice to block the elevator. I did not expect it to escalate this quickly."
Yeah, okay. Through those doors that you can see in the back of the picture, you know, of the office. Basically, what y'all were shown to was an express elevator that just opens up into the office, kind of the view you see here. Most visitors come through, and there's a little foyer area, and then they come through those doors. You have a squad of security guys that come busting through those doors. You know, guns are out. They're telling everybody to stay where they are. They're asking Steele if he's okay. You know, he immediately, like I said, he composes it very quickly. He immediately calms the security guys down. Tells them the shots fired were fired from Bernard. The security guys all look surprised at this. You know, Bernard was apparently fairly high ranking, and but they secure him. They secure his weapon. Steele tells one of them to go call the, contact the police, have them come. He asks y'all this. You can just see the corner of a couch in that picture. You know, that couch is still there. He has you put Bernard there. At first, you think he's getting a drink. He steps over to the wet bar, pours something up, but when he comes back, he just splashes it at Bernard's face until Bernard kind of rouses up a little bit. You know, he's conscious. He ain't got no fight in him, And he asked Bernard why. And y'all have anything I want to ask Bernard?
I'd say why covers it pretty effectively.
Maybe there should be a food thrown in there too.
Novice starts to rear back a fist, and Unit pulls up babysit for one, and Novice pops out.
The baby's excitable.
He got shot. He's mad.
Bernard looks at you guys, and there's a little anger and a fair amount of disgust on his face. It's the most emotion you've ever seen the man, show, truthfully. When he looks over at Steele, he looks a little more shamefaced, though. I'm sorry, sir. You were always a good employee, or a good employer. I did not ever intend for any of this to blow back on you. But humanity's got to be protected from these things. It's got to be. you know, I'm one man. There's a limit to what I can do out there in the field with a group like M.A.A.T. But, you know, if I can supply intelligence to the army, then I could, you know, I could do more good than I could do as a soldier on the field. And, you know, I thought I could do it anonymously.
So, how exactly did you worm your way into the mutant underground so you could pass along information to someone who wanted to, I don't know, cut us open?
One feature that mutants share with some of your lower people, you know, the lower ranks of humanity, is avarice. All I had to do was pay. It took me a little while to find the right one, but yeah, you pay a mutant enough. You find you a poor enough mutant in a rough enough situation. You pay him a little bit. You shield him from, you know, the potential fallout. You know, I let him know. You know, I paid the man, if I can use that term. You know, and I let him know where M.A.A.T was going to attack, so he wouldn't be there. You know, better his situation, give him a little bit of protection. And that's, you know, really all it took. It wasn't even really all that much money.
Christ, you're a charmer. Now,
When you're fighting someone, you exploit their every weakness.
Recluse slaps him. Just a hard backhand across the face.
Yeah, you know, he jerks back. Give me a willpower roll. Recluse.
That's an 8.
Okay. You pull the punch enough that while it hurts, it doesn't knock him back out. You know, the roll was really how much can you control your temper.
I got you.
You know, he pulls out a handkerchief and kind of wipes his mouth with his little blood, you know. Like maybe his upper lip got cut on one of his teeth just a little bit, you know.
So you want to protect humanity from
When you slap him, still steps up. Hey, look, I understand being angry. I'm angry. The police are on the way. Any more of that, and you'll have to leave my office.
Understood.
You know.
I'm sorry.
He's like, I understand the response, but we are not animals. And he kind of leans in a little bit closer, and all of this is on camera.
You know, shit.
So let's see. Is there anything else you would like to ask Bernard before the police get here?
Unit asks, Bernard, sir, aside from the shooting at my teammate, which will obviously be explained to police, do you plan to give a full confession to the police?
I will tell them what I told you. I don't want any of this to come back on Mr. Steele. To anybody to think he was, you know, that he was on board with what I was doing. He's too kind-hearted in regards to these freaks. And you notice as he's speaking, he doesn't seem to be including you in this.
Because I'm a dude in a super suit.
You know, he's like a lot of people. He's too soft-hearted. He gestures toward Recluse. He looks at these monsters as people. You know. Well, like I said, he's too soft-hearted. It's hard to be angry with him for being too kind, but that's what it is. It's too kind. The world is harsh. Sometimes, you know, if you have an infestation, you got to be harsh with them to clear it out.
Sir, I would like to say, are mutants hunting you?
Shut your whole mouth.
Hunting?
Are mutants actively hunting you?
No, not that I know well. He gestures towards the group.
So, under no classification can I see is this an infestation other than that of a natural progression by birth. And, you know, in Recluse's weird extraplanar thing that he does that creeps me out.
I'm also not a mutant.
Really? Bernard's like, really? You some sort of underground magma person or something? Got cool on the surface? Nah, that's too goofy for Bernard to say. He just looks at you in surprise.
Wretches such as yourself.
Well, whether you were born a freak or something made you a freak, you're still a freak.
Hey, Lunch, what are you exactly?
I'm a mutant like you.
Oh, cool. Mutant Bros. Awesome. High five. I feel like we're finally coming together as a team. Honesty. That's what's been missing.
Exactly.
She's a mutant, she says. You know, like a liar. Bernard looks disappointed to hear you're a mutant. I had hoped it was your suit. You're one of the worst kind because you can pass. At least with him, he gestures to Recluse or him over at the Myrmidon. You know what you're getting.
Yes, all made.
Wow, you are just layers and layers of disgusting, bigoted slime ball, aren't you?
You're like a racist onion. There's just layer and layer of your bigotry.
I prefer puff babies.
Police show up pretty quickly. They respond pretty quickly in this part of town.
I pat him on the head and let him know that I understand for those not blessed with an office like Myrmidon. I realize how soft as you are, you know, lead someone to thoughts like that. Poor thing. Poor unblessed thing.
So the police show up.
Kind of rubbing the back of his head like you would a puppy. Oh, poor unblessed.
So the police show up, you know, they take him in, they take statements from all of you, Steele pulls up the video of, you know, the office security video, gives that to him. He pulls up the security video of those incidents when he was using, when Bernard was in here using his computer. You know, nothing in the security system flagged that because Bernard had permissions to be in the office whenever, you know. The automated portion of the security did not flag Bernard being here as weird because he's security, he's in and out at all kinds of odd hours sometimes. And because he was partially in charge of how the security was set up, so he specifically had it set where it would never flag him for anything. You know, you spend an hour or two talking to the police. They do some forensics. They take, you know, they take his gun. They find the bullet that had hit Novice and bounced off. You know, I mean, it hit him. It flattened out, fell to the ground.
Unit asks the police if they can take a few photos for publicity.
Sure.
Steele, like, you know.
Sure.
It's part of
This is and this is a pretty open and shut. There's not it's not like there's really going to be a whole lot of ongoing investigation. But, as they start to clear out, Steele comes to you. I'm sorry about this. I thought Bernard was someone I could trust. I thought of it. I didn't think. I knew he had some issues with power people. Not, some nervousness about, you've got to admit, some of what you can do can be frightening. But I didn't think it was anything like this.
Punch through walls. I can see why you'd be scared.
Yeah. I didn't think it was anything like this, though. I mean, he never... I mean, he was not the most emotionally expressive person, but... Anyway, but... But, thank you for bringing this to the light, though. At least it's cleaned out. I'll have some reviews done from some of my other security people, since Bernard hired most of them, to make sure he was it. Again, I'm just very sorry.
Well, it was good playing, but my pizza's ready, and it's like 4:30.
We're wrapping up now, so.
Yeah.
All right, so you've rescued some people. You have completely trashed M.A.A.T in the local area. You have met some nice agents that will undoubtedly show up again. You've been introduced to another super team in the city, apparently. And I assume y'all exchange contact information.
Yes, they have the information for U.N.I.S.O.N's legal representative.
Okay. What did you say something, Todd?
Yeah, I was telling the rest group you, I guess, Thursday. See you, Tuesday?
Let's see. Oh, yeah. Me and Taylor will be down to record Thursday. But yeah, I'll be down once you get off work Tuesday.
All right. Catch you guys later.
All right, see you later, man.
See you soon.
All right, so as I was saying, you rescued some people. You trashed a terrorist organization. You found their secret contact within a major technological firm. You outed him.
The police also now have information on.
Yes, yeah. I'm assuming you sent that information out to the FBI, to the local police. Some of it you probably just publicize on the internet, so anybody that needs it can get it.
Yeah, there.
Maybe not the crooked cops' names, because that might come back on you, but. Over the next couple of days, this plays out in the paper. Steele comes out, speaks out very strongly against this sort of, the sort of thing his worker was doing, and
Don't let anyone like you.
Those two police captains come under investigation. They're put on administrative leave while there's an investigation going on. The one that was being paid in bitcoins, it doesn't take them very long at all to track all that down. The other guy, it's much... Well, it's not harder to prove because they got recordings of their conversations. I take that back. I forgot they'd record the conversations. So really, they both wind up fired and with charges pretty quickly. It's still probably a few week process because they both get lawyered up and, all that jazz is going on. And next week, or next session, hopefully there will be yet another new member for y'all to meet. But he could not make it today. Still,
I'm fine that my sticks showed up.
Yeah. Still no word from Professor Putty. I sent an email out to him. 2 weeks ago, the last time we were supposed to have a session, and I have not heard back from him. So I guess we'll assume hopefully, we'll assume he's gone. If he pops back up, he's welcome back. But But yeah, haven't heard from him on, hadn't showed up for sessions. Haven't heard from him from an email. Haven't seen him posting on Facebook. So yeah, I'm a little concerned. I'm hoping it was just a long vacation that he forgot to tell us he was taking, because I think he's retired. So, anywho, though, I had fun today. I hope y'all enjoyed it.
Yeah, the last one we got through all the technical issues.
Yes, it's always the technical issues. I don't know what was.
A little bit more quieter than I usually am. I'm kind of feeling off color today.
Yeah, we always all of us have off days occasionally, but
Yeah, I feel kind of weird just because I haven't been in one of these before, and I felt like I kind of pushed myself too much into the spotlight.
Oh, you did fine.
Because I feel like the investigators that showed up were supposed to see all of us, and because I have certain stats in certain ways, it really played out differently.
Well, there was always the chance of the crew bugging out. It all depended on who decided to stay. But those agents will be around, so it ain't a big deal.
Yeah. Sorry to put you on the spot like that.
Yeah.
No, I just mean
Their
like
boss is bugged out from the press every encounter they've had, so.
And Recluse really didn't feel like risking another gun being shoved into his face at this point.
Yeah, they do tend to have a sweet baby Buddha moment when they see you.
I just knew that my characters didn't run a huge risk just because the two that were still there could be teleported out.
Yeah.
So I was just like,
But I wanted to.
some of my
I'm happy that I finally managed to run one where the combat didn't bog down and take the entire session. The combats are fun, but both the other times that I've tried to get some story in there, when I have you fighting like the M.A.A.T troops, they're not very tough. You can take them out, but when you're fighting a squad of them, it just takes time. So I thought the pyramid thing might work.
Your sessions last exactly how long they're supposed to be.
Do what now?
I'm always amazed at how your sessions seem to be timed to fit just right in a little slot we have.
Yeah, it usually works pretty good.
They don't go over, they don't go under, unless we're delayed by technical issues
Yeah.
or whatever.
Well, like today, we're a half hour over, but we were at least a half hour late starting.
Yeah, we were almost an hour late, so.
So it'll come out. If you go look at the YouTube videos, they vary a lot because I'll cut out most of that.
Yeah.
Most of the technical difficulties. Unlike that one where we kept losing connection halfway through, I had to go cut sections out and scoot them together. But well, let me stop the old stream here then. If anybody's watching on Twitch, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.